For the most part, people are the same. So the same reasons that people buy things is consistent across all continents. You know, we've all got similar wants, needs, desires, values that we sort our outer world through. So for the most part, your branding ought to be okay. However, there's a couple of nuances to that. Let me give you a couple of examples. So one of the products that we sell in India, we sell that on the back of being made in Australia. So we make a big song and dance about the fact that it's an Australian brand, and that's because Australia's done a freaking awesome job of branding itself overseas, not just in India, but in all countries. Go anywhere, doesn't matter where you are in the world, and everybody loves Australia, everybody loves Australians, okay? Universally liked. Unlike the Poms, where you have to be super careful where you go and what you say. So you can leverage stuff like that and use it to your advantage from a marketing point of view, and kind of piggyback on the back of multi-millions of dollars that the Australian government has invested in branding Australia overseas. That's a really smart thing to do, by the way. So there's that element of branding. There's also the element of branding where you can get cachet from having a brand that is the same in different marketplaces. So let's take an example of that. Jurlique as a skincare brand is a great example of that. Australian brand, sells incredibly well in Japan, and they focus on that, again, that Aussie kind of brand, Aussie products kind of thing in the Japanese marketplace. And so there's a cachet associated with the product that is really, really useful, and so they keep their brand to do that. There's a third really cool element. Just let me pause my screen. So I guess I don't want to go and show you some crazy shit that you shouldn't be seeing in my files. There you go. All right, so there's a really cool third element as well that most people don't think about, where you can actually get a crazy good advantage in life on Amazon by doing things a little bit smart. And it's to do with what you're talking about, Scott. So let me see if I can kind of cover it for you. So this is from my inner circle in July of 2017, okay? So back in July 2017, I taught the folks in my inner circle this strategy I'm going to share with you. So they had it a year and a half ago, but the strategy still works, and so it's kind of cool, you know, that you've got that. So let's just go through it. Aha. All right, so here it is. Here it is. So in America, and this applies to all countries, okay, but I'm going to do America just because it's a cool and it's a very, very extreme example for you to see. In America, there is a 41 million person market that basically nobody goes after, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, it's just crazy. So that barrel is the Spanish-speaking barrel. Oh, my lovely wife has just brought me a cup of tea. Thank you so much, darling. The Spanish-speaking market, okay? So in the USA, 41 million people speak Spanish as their first language, which, by the way, is 13% of the population. And in addition to that, there's heaps of folks that speak Spanish as their second language too. Now, in Australia, substitute Chinese for Spanish, and you begin to understand why this is such a cool strategy. But let's talk about the USA because it's a really simple market. So let me go and do a little live demo for you. I think from memory, what was I doing then? I think I used hyaluronic acid. All right, so let's go and do that. Find a word, get search volume. So I'm just in Google Ads. I'm going to show you here exactly what's going on. That will do. We'll use those two. And I can show you how this works. So hyaluronic acid is a skincare product. It is crazy amounts of search volume. Let's just go and show you. So I'm in merchant words. Let's go and see how much people search for this. Quick slurp of my tea. All right, so hyaluronic acid. 1.2 million people are searching for hyaluronic acid on Amazon.com. Okay, what about in the Australian market? 148 million people in Australia alone. Okay, now I'm just interested to see what's happening in India. Interesting. Japan. Very interesting. UK. I'm going down a little rabbit hole. 194. All right, cool. So we've got 1.2 million people searching for that particular thing on Amazon.com. Now the Spanish version of that is ácido hialurónico. Okay, so let's just put both of those things into Google AdWords, and I can show you the search volume on Google Ads first, and then we'll go in and do a search volume there. All right, so on Google in America, yes, we've got to set to America, we have 79, so the better part of 80,000 people searching for that particular product, okay? Hyaluronic acid at a cost per click of $2.36. But the Spanish version still gets good search volume, 5,000 searches per month, but it's more than half the cost. So less than half the cost, should I say. Less than half the cost of that. So there is clearly good search volume for it. Now let's just go and have a look on merchant words for this thing. 1.2 million people searching for the English version of that product. Survey says 264,000 people searching for the Spanish version of that. Now this is again on Amazon.com. I will tell you, 264,000 people searching for anything is freaking awesome. It's absolutely brilliant, that it is. So let's just now go to Amazon and go and check out what happens when we search for this. Oh, well, that was interesting. I didn't even stop to show you that. All right. So look now. This is all Spanish. So this is people searching on Amazon.com in Spanish for the product. So there are 422 results for this, which is, I will tell you, nothing. Nothing. It's just nuts. And here is the first choice. I just love this shit, man. Here's the first choice. Hyaluronic acid. Now, what is wrong with that? I'm searching for the Spanish version of the word, and the first choice is an English-speaking version of the word. What's wrong with that? What would be better? That's a better question to ask you. What would be better? Unbelievable, man. It just blows my mind. Spanish. Labeling in Spanish. Well done, guys. That's right. It should be in Spanish. So there are 422 results, and hardly any of them are in Spanish. And there is clearly a great market for it, 264. Let's search in English, and I can show you the difference in craziness. 422 results, most of them shithouse. Now let's go to English. 20,000 results. See the difference? I mean, it's just nuts. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. So, for me, just to come back to what Scott's question is, there are very, very unique advantages to be had by isolating within marketplaces different niches. And this is a great niche within a niche just by focusing on an English brand, or in this case, a Spanish branded version of a product. Now, that same strategy also works on the other way around too. So if you go to, say, Amazon in Germany, amazon.de, and do the same thing, but with English speaking instead of German speaking, you'll get a similar kind of result. There are little marketplaces that you can carve out just based on language in those different Amazon marketplaces. So kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And you'll see this heaps and heaps and heaps. I could show you more, but I hope that you get the idea. I mean, it's just nutty. The difference, 20,000 compared to 422, is just difference. And I showed, FYI, I showed my inner circle that in July of 2017. So over 18 months ago, a year and a half ago, I showed my folks in the inner circle that hack, and still, it's a crazy marketplace to go after, and still there's massive opportunities, and still most folks haven't figured that shit out. Crazy. Anyway, I hope you like that. So you can do 2 listings. Yes, you do 2 listings. You just do a variation. It's easiest just to do a variation. That's the easiest thing to do. You've got your list, you've got your product, and you do a variation. Or if you want to do it properly, and you should do it properly, then you take the actual product, like this for instance, this bestseller, which says hyaluronic acid, and you redo it in Spanish. You do a Spanish version of your product and make it a new product with a new ace in, etc., etc. But it's all in Spanish. You're targeting the 264,000 people who are searching for that product every month in Spanish. Crazy. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.